Right. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here with me. As I said, I'm recording early. I'm going to be away. It's Saturday morning, the 28th, instead of Sunday morning, the 29th. And you just find me under this live tab on our Sun and Moon Studio YouTube page. That space that we hold together. I'm thinking today of our hands, and so let's arrive on our backs, and we might be a little shorter today in our class. We're going to be on our backs doing a little movement, and you don't need to be looking, but if you want, you can watch this part way through and then go ahead and enjoy it, and you get the gist of it. We'll be moving our whole body, but small ways, but also large ways. And after that, if you'd like, you can do the meditation from laying down, stay there. You could be doing this in bed. I'm thinking, yeah, you could. It's just different. If you do it on a soft surface, if you do yoga or these awareness through movements kind of practices I share, um, the way your body gets to move and the resistances are different on a softer surface. So it's still beneficial, but different. So then at the end of it, at the end of our movement, if you would like to come up to sitting, which and that's what I'll do for our meditation, you can join me in that. And you could sit up on a chair, you could sit with your back against the wall, whatever you need. Let's make sure you can see the whole of me there. Let's see. Right? Only my hand. I want to make sure you can see at least one of my hands. Yeah. All right, so you can come onto your back and have your knees bent, or I'm going to start with knees bent for a few moments. My back is a little stiff. And actually, before you even shift around and get to feeling just right, just land. Unless you need something like you really need some lift under your head. Sometimes I need that to make sure my neck is not hurting. But just land and just feel. Ooh. Without fussing or making the the shape exactly symmetrical or perfectly comfortable. Notice what you notice as we lay our bodies down in this opening to gravity, like more surface area than when we're sitting up, like the top of our head and our shoulders is facing up toward the push of gravity. And lying down, it's the whole front body that is open to this force of gravity, more surface area. And so I'm going to lower, straighten my legs and feel the contact points. Part of the benefit of gravity. Like if gravity wasn't here, we'd be floating. Well, those are the two options we know. It could be something else. Ah, right. Notice the changes and the notice the variety of kinds of touch and heaviness. Like my knuckles against the ground, the right and left ones feel different actually, but the right ones feel pointy. The heels have a different kind of pointiness. Way the back of the head touches, the upper back, left and right, the hips, pelvis, the legs, at the upper legs, lower legs, or soles of the feet if your knees are bent. The awareness, the things you're becoming conscious of, like the feel of the right and left jaw hinges, perhaps feel of your forehead, how freely breath is flowing. If, like me, you're a little congested, a little bit congested in the sinuses this morning. And the changing feel as we're invited to relax more and more here on the ground and just arriving, just being right here, right now, touching into the ground this way, attending to ground, feeling the weight of ourselves, the way it gets us right into the presence that we are. I'm thinking again of gratitude of this community, of this technology that allows me to share this, allows me and you to be together in this way and share this intention, but for each of us, personalized, of this practice, of this benefit to ourselves. And by doing it for ourselves, the ripple effect, like the stone tossed into a pond, the ripple that sends out, touch others in ways we know and ways we don't know. And so if you like, you can indeed, as often as said, I have a little aversion to this phrase, but I'll drop it anyway. Set an intention. See what I like to think of the phrase, what brought you here? The question, what brought you here? Why did you carve out this time to do this? And there's no wrong answer to this question. You might open it and see the various answers that come. I did this because it makes my body feel better. Do this because it helps my energy level through the day. I do this because of the happiness it gives me for connection. Do this for the way it connects my own consciousness to my eternal self, same self that we all are. I think in Christian terms, that's what I believe is the body of Christ, or that that essence of us that is in this human form, all different, but we're all the same in so many, in our essence and in many ways. Oh, when you're ready, and you can always come back to this pause of stillness, of observation, not necessarily because you're, it could be because you're bored, could be as you're, something doesn't feel quite right, but it could also just be that you're gonna pause and take a, like pulling over on a beautiful highway for the scenic overlook. Oh, excuse me. Oh, actually, let's rub our hands. So emphasis, I haven't even talked about them in our arriving, but hands. I'm inspired in part with rubbed hands. After you rub them, place your palms over your eyes and then let the fingers be together and kind of crossing each other. It creates like a little triangle for your nose. And so I find this a little easier on the anatomy, the surfaces Oh, I hope you're hearing me well. If you hear two, the air conditioning and our dehumidifier, I hope that's not creating a hum for you for on the recording. Well, a nice little pockets, dark, dark for the eyes, and imagine the eyes looking out into dark. The eyes, my eyes are closed. Yeah, easier to have eyes closed. But imagine seeing out into the deep darkness far past your hands, even as the eyes rest. I'm going to ask you for one of those intentions or reasons, what brought you here. Hold that in your mind's eye and your somewhere in your the network of your nervous system and knowing, and conjure up a little short phrase or maybe an image or maybe a musical jingle for that goal, that hope, that desire, that intent. Maybe even as you do that, also think of a time, if you can make this apply, that whatever it is intent you have, that it's already so, or a time that you experienced it. Like for me, for the energy that sustains, is well sustained through the day, I'm thinking of how, because of this practice that I do, I was able to enjoy an evening where usually I'm quite tired. I was enjoy an evening with friends because I took care of myself during the day and got the rest I needed, the rejuvenation, the restoration, and notice what it felt like, what it feels like bring it into the present. Even if you don't think you've experienced and you're hoping to experience it, what you think it will be like, and make it happen, make it now, conjure it up now. Notice what your body knows about it, feels about it. And this is an important practice called resource building, not research. Now I'm releasing my hands from my eyes, just letting the arms, letting the light back in, putting the arms back out to the sides. Knees are bent now. And imagine now that in each hand, you're holding a tiny, delicate, maybe it's a little piece of porcelain or a little cup or a little bird. And just let the fingertips come toward each other, and let your right hand, just let that little beak of your hand roll down towards your hips, but the hand is on the floor. And at the same time, the other hand rolls upward, and then shift directions. So the whole hand, well, parts of it are not touching, but the knuckles and the sides of the fingers are on the floor, and they're slowly rolling in opposite directions. And you feel this rolling is pulling the whole arm and rotating it at the elbow, forearm, elbow, up into the upper arm, and even into the shoulder. But now let's back it up. Let's make that roll seem to happen only at the hand and wrist. So a smaller movement, and breathe. And the forearm will be pulled a little bit, but make the movement less. So it's just the hand, wrist, moving and relaxed, easy, lightly. Now let the movement get bigger. So you let the forearm move too, and you don't have to be too rigid in the way the fingers are. Just the shape is more as if the fingers are curled in, the tips are close to each other, or even some of them touching, as opposed to open palm, fingers wide. And so now the forearm, not, and if possible, as much as possible, keep the elbows in place. And notice as I'm telling you instructions, guidance about the hands, arms, elbows, notice the feel of your lower back, your belly, the more of you, even as our focus is honed in on feel of the forearms, wrists, thumbs. And now let the movement get bigger, so allowing the upper arm to move as well, but not so much the shoulder blades. So even though you'll feel something probably in the shoulder blades, this is the massage we're getting, and this little movement is just incredible. Okay, now let's add something else. Let your face turn so the head rolls to look toward the arm rolling up. The knees go a little away. And then the opposite as that right hand rolls down. I'm looking toward the left arm, those hand rolling up, and the knees go over to the right. We're rolling to look toward the hand, rolling upward, palm upward. Behind us, the hand is rolling palm downward, and the knees are turning in the direction of the back of our head. And the movement does not have to be a big amplitude, but you can begin to let the shoulders and shoulder blades engage and lift and roll as well. So, in amplitude, I mean that the knees don't have to drop far from center, they don't have to drop to their maximum. And even the movement in your arms and shoulders does not have to be its full squeeze range of motion. I haven't done this movement with you guys on my Sunday offering, which I'm doing on Saturday today, in a long time, but this is one of my most favorites. I call it breathe and twist. There's a twist that's going along the axis of the spine. There's a twist that's happening in the shoulders perpendicular to the spine. Oh my gosh, I have so many yawns. And feel, especially again, to reconnect with the feel in the palms and the fingers. And especially the hand behind you might stretch the fingers out. You then, as you look toward the hand that's rolling upward, an arm, the fingers come closer together. And also the angle of your arms. I like to reach upward with the arm I'm looking toward. And of course, you can do all of this. Wow, do I have a lot of yawns in me? You can reverse all of this. In fact, let's come to center and just pause. Even let the legs down or lean the knees against each other, whichever appeals more. Notice all that comes to the space of your consciousness and into the field of our awareness that's boundless as we pause. What feel in the middle back or the hands or the soles of the feet. Air conditioning on my bare arms. And as we come back, let's try a little differently, a little backwards. Let's let the knees go in the same direction as the face, but let your be looking toward the arm that's rolling down, palm down, and the arm behind you rolls palm up, and then shift. So this may take a little while to coordinate. Take your time, see how you organize it. Maybe it comes easily to you, but because I've done the other one so often, and there's something in it that is maybe more usual, more natural. Go to the extent that it's comfortable. Just a few times, and then I'm gonna go to the pattern we did before, and looking toward the hand that's palm up, reaching a little bit upward from the floor, and the legs going sort of the other direction, opposite of where the face is looking. And let it go. Slide flat or just wherever is comfortable to rest. Notice the energy of your breath, the feel of the touch of the breath. Notice the feel of your hands. Feel of your felt sense, the psycho-emotional, knowing, feeling, all of you together. And perhaps you'll stay where you are for meditation. Or like me, you'll let your golden ball and the pelvis roll, the imaginary golden ball to the side. Pause there a moment if you like in this pose of the seed, the pose of potential on our sides, curled up. You can stay there as long as you like. And I'm going to push up the sitting, set up for sitting meditation. Oh, it's going to be a very short meditation. It was a long centering and be like a 4-minute meditation. Not disturbing the calm together. If you're laying down, you can bring your palms to your in front of the heart and just gaze toward your palms. And we begin this very short meditation of stillness, silence, simply being and breathing together. And perhaps bring a little more attention again as you center these first moments in the sit to attention to your hands. Just letting the body settle to this shape in our field of gravity. In, opening to stillness. And whenever you seem like you're struggling or feel like you've been away in a mind storm in a imaginary realm, a virtual reality in your mind, just come back and perhaps if you're struggling, use a tool like the breath, attending to breath, or noticing the ground, pulling up that resource, that short phrase of your intent, the feel of it, the name of it. Short. We'll go 5 minutes. We're a little after 3 minutes. Just right. And a little bit more. Another breath. Our palms together and bowing. The end of this short meditation and practice together. And just take a moment to feel your hands, however they've landed. Mine are kind of folded in my lap. Same time, you're feeling your hands and bringing gently your focus there, your attention, in an easy way. Also, be being aware, being conscious of more of you, of the shoulders of the wholeness of yourself, but especially feeling hands, the many things they do every day. Perhaps bringing to mind a particular dishwashing, cleaning things off your dog, grasses that get in his fur, the eye boogers that form overnight, hands that sew, hands that touch another's face, that touch your own face. So much these hands have seen, so rich with feeling and knowing. I hope to continue this. There's many themes I hope to continue, but maybe I'll continue next week. And there's so much more we can do with the shapes of our hands and the energy, the whole, the way, the feel, the messages, the gestures convey, um, like this one. Thank you for joining me. I hope this recording went well. And in the zone here, forgetting what else to say. Check our listings. I think the 30th is our last day to do makeups in this quarter, spring quarter, and then we begin classes again. Oh gosh, I'm not sure. Check the website. I'm sorry I didn't check that in advance, but I thought the 30th is the last day of classes, and then we have a little break till maybe the 5th. I'm not sure. Check sunandmoonstudio.com, and please send me a note either in the comments below or aLex at sunandmoonstudio.com to let me know what you hope what you're interested in your yoga practice, what your needs are, how this practice went if you join me for it. So I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being here. See you next week. Yes. Be What will that be? The 5th. Well, I'm not sure. We'll check if we're in session whenever I do. Ciao, ciao.